Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome at the Code Jam for January. This is Eralda Nazarko. I'm going to be your host tonight, and I'm a cybersecurity mentor here at TripleTen for the externship programs. I'm so excited to be here tonight, and thank you all for coming. We are going to start the January Code Jam tonight, and we are live. This is a live stream. And for those of you who are new to this space, I would like to introduce a little bit what is a code jam. At TripleTen, it's a friendly competition that occurs for our students during their normal coursework. These are super short competitions where a group of students get together, jam out a bunch of work to meet the prompt. But first, I would like to highlight that this code jam for this month is a little bit special. For this event, we will unite our students that come from two different programs. We have students that comes from software engineer program and UX UI, user interface, user experience program. So that's why it's special, and we are excited to see students from different programs collaborating together. This code jam consists of two parts, working on the project and the presentation. So last week, our participants, our students were introduced to the challenge that they needed to work, the project. The project for this month is to collaboratively design and build simple, intentional digital products that help people reset after the holidays. So we are very, very excited to see the results today because we have 3 teams that are going to present tonight for us. And our students in the 3 teams had only 6 days to work on the project, and tonight they are ready to present for us. So they are going to present some representatives of the team. Most of the teams have a name that we are going to introduce, and our judges will review these presentations, and next week they will be evaluating both the code design and the presentation in order to claim a winner. So that is going to happen next week, and we are greatly looking forward to it. We encourage you to support our brave participants in the comments in this stream. So now it's the honor of presenting our 3 team participants. We have the first team, Timekeeper, interesting name, and there are 4 team members that have collaborated in this project. So we have Martin Young, Michael Borges, Kriti Aguaral, Varsha Kulkarni, which are presenting. They are present, and they are going to present tonight. They don't have a pre-recorded project, so they are going to present live for you. The floor is to Timekeepers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralda. Do I have a permission to share my screen?
Yes, I think you do.
Okay. Can everybody see through the screen?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ralda, for such an enthusiastic intro. So let's go ahead. My name is Kriti Agarwal, and I'm from Team 3, like you said. Let me introduce the team once again. So the UX team is Varsha and me, and the developer team is Michael and Martin. So the goal, we are working on an app called Personal Focus Timer. The goal was to create an app where the user goes from phone in hand to focus in under 3 seconds. To start with, we started with some user interviews and did some competitive research. And we found out that the users have high effort to begin the session, they have cognitive overloads, and it's disruptive. This is the competitive analysis. And now Varsha will share the user flow and the user persona.
Thank you, Kriti. In user research, we found out the user need a fast and simple way to start focusing without any much effort and cognitive load. We interviewed one person who was a student, and we came to know about the goal and what are the real pain points of the user. We created user journey map where we found out how user is not getting time to focus, and how it is getting interrupted by the notifications. And we came up we developed the information architecture and user flow, where we set the preset timers, and then we came up with the solution that how we can give the for focusing time, the main focus, and how the user can finish it efficiently. Through this user research, we developed our low-fi wireframes for both mobile and desktop version. And then while creating all these lo-fi and hi-fi frames, we took care of all the design system standards, and which are WCGA compliant. We use the color contrast ratio 10.4 as to 1, and for the fonts we used highly geometrical font. And yes, and this is our final solution, timekeeper focus app.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is Timekeeper, which says focus without friction. The solutions we came up with are the flexible timers with the calm mode, not the gamified one. We also added this special mute notifications toggle button where the user can mute notifications when they are on focus. And then let's go. So these are our hi-fi prototypes that we worked on for both mobile version as well as the desktop version. This is a more closer look for the mobile version. So this was the outcome, like it reduced the focus, like we tried to reduce the steps as much as we could and get to the user to focus in under 3 seconds. And on the completion screen, the visual and haptic signals are used to acknowledge the end of focus session. So here we are going to give you a little demo of how our app works. So this is the first page we call the idle page. The user jumps on. You can turn it on. By default, the timer is 25 minutes. You can choose 15 or 45 quick actions. And then there's a add task option too, which is completely option. So we start, and then that's how it looks like. The user pauses it, and then it dims the screen. The user restarts it, and the timer is back on again. And then there is this, and then it resets back to the original screen. Yeah. And this is the desktop version. Here we have the About Us, where you can meet us. And when you go back, you just click on Let's Focus, Start, and here you go. Like it didn't even take me 3 seconds to start focusing. And then we do have buttons to pause the screen. Then the pause screen is dimmable as per the requirement of the project. You play, and here you go.
I think the sound effect is not working here, but there is a sound when the last screen appears. That's how the haptic signal for audio and video is given to our app.
Yes, the
Yes.
sound is also audible here. Yes. And that's all from our side. Now we will ask the developer team to take over, Mike and Martin.
Thank you so much. I just sent my request to Sharon. Alrighty. So yeah, thank you guys again. So here's our desktop view. One of the things, biggest things I think we learned through creating this with the UI team was um, understanding everyone's the way they think. And the UI team, their first thought was let's design an application for the phone. And instead we end up designing a desktop responsive view that can then be shifted down to a mobile view. So it's really cool being able to pick each other's brains and get things started. As they mentioned, we have our homepage. We really wanted to illustrate some of our cards. Our app was built on React with Vite as a build tool, giving us instant HMR, hot model reloading, as well as lightning fast dev experiences. As you can see, this is our about page. And then I will pass the idle view over to Martin.
All right, thanks, Mike. For the timer idle view, there are 3 preset times shown in numerical order. First time signature says only 1 minute, and when it's clicked, it runs for only 6 seconds on the next page. This is just for presentational purposes. The gray buttons are clickable and will swap with the time signature in the 3rd spot. I also made sure that the numbers stayed in numerical order when they are swapped. Then we just press the start button to navigate to the timer page. Okay, Mike.
As the UI team mentioned, you can see we have a play state and a dimmable pause state. I really like the color schemes that we had going here. I also believe that this is the heart of our application, the countdown component, which I built using React hooks. The use effect manages the interval, use state manages the seconds remaining, and use ref prevents memory leaks when the component unmounts. The circular rings progress ring was one of by far the most interesting challenge I've ever had. But by far the best thing I've ever learned, and just taught me so many different things that I can do with shapes. It is pure SVG. I'm using a stroke dash array and a stroke dash offset to create some of my filling animations. The math is pretty simple. I just calculated the progress as a percentage, and then I map it to the circle circumference to give it that smooth transition look. And as you can see, we do have the 15-minute one does work. This is our deployment link. We just wanted to make sure we can show you something that works. And this will take us into our completed view for Martin.
All right, thanks, Mike. After the timer runs down to 0, we are moved to the completed view. This automatically triggers the haptic effects of the confetti popping, the trumpet sound effect, and the taking effect on the time signature. Can you run through that again?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the sound's working, but yeah, it's horns trumpeting. So this page shows a count of the daily sessions, the weekly sessions, and the total minutes for the whole week.
And as you can see, they have been changing. 14 just changed to 15, 55, and 56. And then 6 seconds off of our time. Now and then to show you guys our responsive view. So we have things designed at 390. I chose to go 844 on the height because that's about what most iPhone 11, 12, 13s are. Once I saw we were doing 390, I just kind of went off of the iPhone view. You can see that things are still scrollable, so a user could still swipe through here. Actually, let me get a refresh. There we go. It's still scrollable. We do have our bar at the top, and everything does munch down into a hamburger bar, which still allows us to get to our About Us section. We can still scroll through here. As you can see, I guess the 1.1 second just for display purposes, but still runs through at the 15. And as we get through here, everything's still working the same. And then lastly, we did deploy this onto through GitHub Pages, just for proper asset routing. You know, I had to go through the bytes config to make sure that the base and the homepage were set up properly. But all in all, thank you guys so much, and we hope you enjoyed our project.
Thank you, timekeepers. Thank you for your presentation. I have 2 questions for you since you presented. So I think it's reasonable enough to ask since we started collaborating between programs during the code jam. So how was your experience working together? Did you know each other before? And how was working with students that are not even from your program for the same goal?
We didn't know each other at all. So, but
Yeah, it's
yeah, I think it
first
worked
time
out all right.
and we are in different time zones as well. So collaboration was a real learning here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
At the start, it was definitely it was difficult.
Yeah.
But
So which tool did you use to collaborate? Just out of curiosity.
We used a mix of Zoom and Discord.
Okay.
They are some of them are still new to Discord, so we use Zoom for screen sharing, and then Discord just to keep a constant text chat going and to schedule meetup times. I also really like, as I mentioned during the project or presentation, the clash of the two classes, like as Martin can attest, we learned to design desktop and to move back, move smaller. And so when the designers were kind of making things, they're like, oh, let's make an app, and they made it small, and we're like, well, we need it big. And so kind of trying
Well,
to
yeah,
find that, that common ground to get things going
that
was fun.
came from the instructions to start with, because they felt that when you say from your phone to your hand in 3 seconds, that's why they had said
Yeah.
they started building the mobile first. But they didn't know that building an application is a lot easier building it from the desktop down to the mobile. So um we met on that, and
Thanks, Martin, for that explanation. Appreciate it.
yeah, sure.
So my next
Yeah,
question
we
is,
started showing them
yeah.
the logistics on it. They're like, yeah, that makes sense.
So in 6 days, you had to work on the project, get to know each other better, and collaborate. Anything that you'd like to develop in the future for this project that you'd think, if I had more time, I could do one more feature or something?
Yes, definitely. Not one more. I think we have quite a list because of time we
Okay.
couldn't. The first one goes is the horizontal scrolling. Like right now, we just added 3 cards on the desktop, like you saw. We really wanted to add a lot more stuff in here. That's the first thing. Next thing is we did add a mute notifications like the toggle button on the mobile app, but it's not there on the desktop yet because that was something we thought later and then it was too late for the developers, I guess. So that's another thing. Anything else you guys want to add up to?
I think the
Yeah,
yeah.
just going back to, like how you guys started the design, you really designed it as if it was like an app you download off the App Store. And I
Yes,
would really love to design that version because it was super clean cut and all of that. And and then of course implementing the login so the users could have a profile and track how often that you're using
yes,
the app.
yes.
I think
That's
the
yeah,
collaboration played a very important role in this code jam.
yeah,
This was first time we were working with developers, and that's a learning experience for us that how we should convey our design message to the developers, because I think developer team is all about coding and they see everything in a code. So to convey that design to the coding format was a challenge, and I feel me and Kriti worked pretty hard to convey that, and then a developer team was really hardworking, and they were very
yes.
supportive throughout this journey. So I really appreciate everyone's contribution for this project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know we tested them super hard every time they'd add a button or something like that. I'd be like, okay, but what do you want me to have it do once we click it? I need you to tell me so I can it's
Yeah.
and so them
Yeah.
finally understanding from a like our own brain, so it's like, okay, but why?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your honest feedback. And I think your experience in the last 6 days mimic the workplace or the real experience in the workplace when teams from
Definitely.
different
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
departments collaborate together. So thank you so much. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
thank
And
much.
you.
now, yes, now it's time to move on to team number 2. We have 5 team members, Giselle Tavares, we have Rose Hayes, Amira Vansey. So I think Rose is present today. Giselle, I'm sorry, Giselle is present today. And they have a pre-recorded session for their presentation. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll ask some questions since we have a team member present. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rose, and this is Amir. We're from Team 2, and we chose to build a personal focus timer. We're the UI UX designers on this team. I'll go to the first slide. So the problem statement: people feel burnout coming back to work after the holidays. We chose to build a personal focus timer app to combat fatigue and to help time management. our goal is to create this app to help busy people reset after the holidays. Our visual identity for it is a calming yet motivating timer that would help to keep people on task and feel accomplished. So I did some research on other apps that are also timer apps, and for some competitive analysis, I found that most of the pain points from these 3 marketplace apps are that they need a more incentive to stay motivated through loyalty or rewards on the timer app. Our users often complain of disruptive ads that overloaded screens. The timer itself doesn't continue playing outside the app or lock screen. And with that in mind, we created features for the needs for the ability to create your own task, being able to track your session and history at a glance, and also allowing short breaks in between focus sessions. And we also did a user journey based on who would be using the app, and that will be Mira.
So, hi everyone. Our user journey reflects the experience of Jade Marsh. Jade is a 31-year-old journalist from Washington, D.C. Jade often works in focus blocks ranging between 20 and 45 minutes. So she would need support that stays out of her writing process, but also gives her the flexibility to pause and resume work without feeling unproductive. So with that in mind, we created the app in a way that visually is clear in terms of time winding down, but also is not interrupting her process.
And then the user flow.
So ideally, what the flow would look like once a user logs into the app is they're presented with the home screen, which has the quick actions. So they can either select 15 minutes, 25 minutes, or 45 minutes, or choose their own custom time. Once they choose that time, there's a slow build up to the actual countdown to give them some time to just settle in. Once the countdown starts, they're able to get to work. They can choose to turn on music if they like before the countdown or at any point during the countdown. They can also pause if they want to pause and take a minute for whatever reason. They can do that and then resume their focus session. When the screen is paused, it's dimmed, so there's not any. The only other option on the screen is to resume the session. It's not a distraction. From there, they would complete their focus session and have a subtle indication that the session is over versus like a big like celebratory screen.
Yes, so we went with the calming, gentle sort of celebration rather than the loud and exciting celebration. With that in mind, we worked on a style guide for the interface. So for the font, I went with the Chonga font for the headers and the timer numbers itself. I chose that because it's a modern kind of geometric font. It has clean lines and with curvy, yet it has curvy visual interest in it. And I chose Lotto for a pairing for Chonga as the body text. We went with the brand colors of a muted blue and a muted green. We wanted to show like a calming effect on the interfaces. The status colors, which would be for when the screen is paused or you're taking breaks between sessions, is this warm pinkish gray, so that it gently relaxes the user as they're going through the app itself. And then, as you can see, the colors and styles have been applied to the high definition prototypes. we have our home screen here. We wanted the phone to go from hand, being the phone in hand, to 3 seconds countdown to focus. So we thought of the quick actions as the first screen that pops up for the user. And then there would be a countdown to the timer, which would be this main screen here with the clock. And then on the quick actions button, you can either set it to the preset times, or you can choose a custom time. Over here, you'll see there's little quick action buttons. You could play music or a soundscape. And this pencil button, you can write your task and write any notes about it. And over here with the gray status color is the pause state. And as you can see, the other elements on the screen are like dimmed out, but you still have access to the play button, so you can continue after you're taking a break. And with the celebratory page, we wanted a gentle pulsating effect after the user has done their session. And we also have a page for history, and you'll see here in the last screen here that is the focus history, and it tells you a breakdown of focus time, focus session, and breaks completed daily. And then you can also see overall over the week or over the month sessions. And we also have a live prototype here that I will go into. Let's see, so it's just starting up. You're able to navigate between these navigation buttons. So we have like the custom button and then preset times. And if you go to any one of these, it goes to the timer clock, and this will be the main screen. And then that's the celebratory page. And then of course your focus history. So that is our design work and prototyping and research for this project. Thank you for your time, and that's the end of our project.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, team number 2. So we have Giselle from team number 2, and I would like to ask her a question. So how, Giselle, can you hear me? Giselle is part of the software engineering program.
Yes. So can I share my screen so I can just show what we did real quick?
Yes, please. You can do that. You don't need permission. You can share your screen.
Can you see the application?
Almost. Yes.
Sweet. It's right here. There you go. So for the software engineer part, our main goal was to build a fast, reliable MVP that lets user go from phone in hand to focus mode in under 3 seconds, while keeping the UI calm and logic predictable. I intentionally kept the timer logic pure and isolated so it wouldn't affect the UI re-renders. The section histories are storage in a local storage, which allows the app to persist daily focus and section without requiring a backend. Later on, that could be something that we can do. For right now, I set it off for just 10 seconds just to show what it looks like when it's actually running. When it's paused, you'll see that it goes into this like gray kind of layover. And then you can also stop and reset it here, where it will take you to the main page. For future work on the application, we're gonna add some music that you can actually connect it to one of your applications or storage on your phone. And then down here we can see it has the daily check-ins, how many sections you have done for the day. And then the audio system is defensive. If the sounds fails, like right now you cannot hear anything, right?
No.
So if the audio fails, the application continues without breaking. And the structure is designed so later on we can do like Express or Mongo backend. So we can be straightforward to swap it from the storage locally. Overall, for the software engineer part, it was to make it clear and responsive and making sure the app behaves consistently on their all state without while remaining easy to extend. So we can always keep on working on it. We also have the header up here. We have the title, and this is for the stats. And this folder is going to be for the music that we're going to be saving if you like it. And you keep on. That is what we have for today.
Thank you so much, Giselle. Thank you also, team number 2 overall. So Giselle, one more question that I have for you is, how would you describe this overall experience? I mean, working with students also from the UX UI program. So how was the overall collaboration process within the team?
The collaboration with the designers, it was amazing. They had great communication. They were always responsive. With the software engineer side, it was a little bit rough. They had different times and it was less responsive than the design.
But in 6 days, you made it. You have a product. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we are going to move on to the next team, the last team, Code Storm. There are 5 team members: Sarah Jo Canadian, Blake Isget, Farida Nelson, Elizabeth Dombach, and Andrea Turkson. So we have some of the team members present, but they already have pre-recorded their presentation. And at the end, we'll discuss about the experience and some questions that I have for them. So Code Storm is next. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Farida Nelson. Thank you very much for presentation. Yes, we are CodeStorm, and I am representing the software engineering team. I'm a full stack software engineer. I'm a graduate of TripleTen, and I'm also a graduate of externship as well. So, I mean, graduate or completed the externship project. Anyway. Here we are. We decided to work on a yearly planner project, and so for this project, we called the project Thrive 365, and it's a goal tracking web application that helps users set, manage, and track 4 long-term goals across different life areas. I led the full stack integration, building the RESTful backend with Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and JWT, authentication, and connecting it to the React front end. I implemented goal creation, editing, progress tracking, pause, resume states, deletion flaws, connected front end with the back end. I also handled course, environment configuration, and deployment. So for the deployment, I set up a full production pipeline with separate front end and back end services. The back end is deployed on Google Cloud Run, connected to MongoDB Atlas with environment-based configuration for security. And the front end is deployed on Vercel using automatic CI/CD from GitHub. So yeah, let me show you the app. Let me share my screen. Oh, by the way, can we turn on the presentations of our team members that we've sent, I believe, to Dennis?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beth, and I worked on the UX UI side of our team for Thrive 365. From the beginning, our goal with Thrive 365 was to design something very different from typical productivity apps. Most planners focus on daily tasks, checklists, and constant reminders, which can create more stress than clarity. So we started with user research around long-term goal setting. What we found was that most people struggle with setting clear long-term goals, staying focused, and staying emotionally connected to them. That insight shaped the entire direction of Thrive 365. Instead of building another task manager, we designed Thrive 365 as a yearly life planner, a compass for the year. We kept it simple with only 3 to 5 goals and the option to save a goal with as little detail as only a short title. No daily task, no clutter. We also worked to facilitate clarity of intentions with guiding questions when adding new goals, options to include steps towards each goal, and space for free-form notes as you create your goals. We wanted the experience to feel spacious, calm, and intentional. That's why we avoided list layouts and created the idea of a gallery of intentions where each goal feels like a chapter in your year, not a checkbox. Throughout the design process, we worked closely with engineering to make sure every interaction we designed could be built cleanly and realistically. Overall, our goal was to create an experience that helps people slow down, reflect, and focus on what truly matters across an entire year.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I'm a UX UI designer. I led the visual design, interactive design, user flows, journey mapping, and prototype usability testing for Thrive 365. Hi, my name is Andrea, and I'm a UX UI designer. I led the visual design, interactive design, user flows, journey mapping, and prototype usability testing for Thrive 365. After defining product strategy and user goals, I translated that vision into an accessible, cohesive design system and iterated on high fidelity prototype based on usability findings. I created a visionary, sophisticated, and common experience. I established a visual language in Figma using refined prototype, warm color palettes, and generous white space. All color choices were tested for WCAG compliant contrast to ensure accessibility and readability, positioning Thrive 365 as a supportive life planner rather than a rigid utility. A key challenge was communicating the 3 goal stages: active, pause, and completed with emotional clarity. Through visual hierarchy, color, and subtle motion cues, active feels more in progress, pause feels intentional, and completed feels celebratory. I validated both usability and emotional tone through high fidelity Figma prototype testing, including dashboard, goal creative, user flow, notes view, and state transitions. My focus throughout was creating an intentional, accessible, and emotional supportive experience grounded in user-centered design and journey insights. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Blake, and I worked mainly on front-end styling and animation concepts for Thrive 365. My role focused on making sure Thrive 365 doesn't just function well, but feels good to use. Because this app is about reflection and long-term intention, we wanted interactions to feel smooth, calm, and emotionally appropriate. I worked primarily on styling the card layouts, refining spacing and typography, and experimenting with animation ideas for transitions between states. Some of the animations I explored include subtle fades when opening and closing goal details, gentle highlight effects when a goal becomes active, and celebratory transitions when a goal is completed. The goal was never a flashy animation, but more a micro interaction that reinforces meaning. For example, when a goal becomes completed, the animation feels paused, it visually softens instead of disappearing. These small touches help the app feel polished, intentional, and emotionally aligned with the product. Overall, my focus was enhancing the user experience through motion and visual refinement. Thank you.
Farida, you go next, right?
Yes, yes. So this is it. That was our presentation. We did finish the deployment just about half an hour ago, and but yeah. So any questions?
Of course.
I
Thank
don't
you
think
so
we
much.
saw Serge's part of the pre-recording.
Yeah. I thought Farida goes next and then have her, so just 1 minute.
We had 5, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
with 4 pre-recorded. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Saruj and I worked as a full stack software engineer on the Thrive 365 project. On the front end, I used React to implement user flows, make sure that the dashboard was displaying everything clearly as far as the goal cards and the percentages that are being displayed for goals completed. On the back end, I collaborated closely with Farida to create the endpoints as far as users go and the goals itself. One big technical challenge that I found in this project was keeping the front end and the back end in sync at all times as we were continuously pushing and pulling the code onto our separate machines. The philosophy of this application is very simple: no clutter, no overly hyped portions of the application, just a basic goal calculator that you can use to actually achieve your goals throughout a year. And I believe that we achieved everything we set out to do. The team was great. And as you will see the demo today, or you've probably seen it before this section of the program, I think we came out with something great. Thank you.
Thank you, CodeStorm. Thank you so much for your presentation. Now, Farida, Beth,
Yes.
if you'd like to answer a few questions that I have. So, how satisfied are you with the end result of this project?
It's not the end result. May I answer first? It's not the end result. We are still going to keep working, even though the code jam is down. We're very excited about this, and we think that this is a very, very useful tool that we can actually bring to the world. So hopefully we'll just keep working, and yeah, it is a useful tool. I would use it definitely.
So this is not a 6 days project. You see that it can be developed and improved to something else.
100%. Yes. Yes.
I think
Yes,
for
Beth?
what we accomplished in 6 days, this is great.
It's
For what we
incredible,
can
right?
accomplish given a little more time, we do have greater ambitions for this project. We want to refine some of the features that we've already built into the web app. And we also have talked about creating a native mobile app. We actually started doing design hi-fi
what you, Beth,
mock-ups
and
for
Andrea did in these 6 days is incredible. As a matter of fact, if you wanna take a look, I can actually share the screen and I'll show you. Okay, the Figma. Where's the Figma? Too many. There. Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. And the girls did it in a matter of a couple of days, and with all the little details and everything. Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway.
So
Yeah.
how did you find collaborating with each other?
So it was smooth. Go ahead.
One of the things that was a challenge for our team that actually kind of in some ways helped us to kind of trust each other to get what they needed to get done was that we're spread out across Eastern time zone, Central time zone, Pacific time zone, and I think one person in Hawaii. So we're all different times. Well, some of us are different time zones. I think there's 2 in Pacific time zone, but because of the time differences, we were not able to all be on a Zoom call at the same time, or whatever video conferencing to work out everything. So we did a lot of depending on Discord to keep each other up to speed on what we're working on. Andrea and I did a lot of leaving comments in Figma saying what we just did or changed or what still needs changed. And I know that the software engineering team was on video calls a lot.
Yeah, we did overall over 35 commits on both repos. So that's and we had like 6 working branches. So it's been a lot.
So to recap, in 6 days, in totally different time zones, you were able to build the front and the back end for this project, which is quite an accomplishment. So thank you so much, CodeStorm.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So these were our presentations for tonight. So 3 teams, 3 great projects. We are excited. Just looking forward next week for the results. The judges will take a decision on these 3 great presentations and the products that each team developed during the last 6 days. So this is all from us for the January Software Engineering UX UI Code Jam presentations. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for being a part, particular to all teams that participated. And if you are a TripleTen student and are interested in participation, check out the career channels in the hub. There you can find more information about our upcoming events. I would like to send a special thank to people who contribute always for the Code Jams. So to organize these great events for students, Devin, Josh, Kathleen, Tasha, Liana, Natasha, Olivia, Dennis, Anastasia. Thank you so much. Thank you again to all participants for presenting your work today. We'll continue. We are continually impressed by your dedication and your hard work and your commitment. And from me, I'm Eralda Nazarko one more time. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for being a part of this event. So looking forward to the next great event. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.